Heavy attacks can be very powerful in these initial combo heavy attack builds featuring Corrupt Charge, which come in a colorful variety of flavors, but none of those flavors is the one I think a lot of us expected when we first heard about heavy attacks using combo as a resource. You don't build combo and then heavy attack with it in these types of builds, or in combo focused builds like this one, because it's just not efficient. You're losing too much in exchange for too little, or in the case of the initial combo heavy attack builds, you simply don't need to. You could just heavy attack like 5 times instead of building up combo. But there is indeed another type of build altogether that does effectively use combos and heavy attacks. It builds up combo and then spends it into a single large heavy attack, just like a lot of us might have imagined. And since I've already covered those other kinds of builds, this video will be about a third type. Behold! Combo efficiency is the stat that makes it all possible. Combo efficiency reduces how much of your combo you lose when you heavy attack, down from 100%, and it maxes out once you have 90% combo efficiency and are only losing 10% of your combo with each heavy attack. This build for the Helicore is the most straightforward example of the power of that stat. 40% efficiency comes from focus energy here, which also provides some electricity damage, and you can get the other 60% from Zenurik's passive node Inner Might, although this doesn't work in the Simulacrum, so I'll demonstrate it a bit later. With 90% combo efficiency like this, we can heavy attack and only lose 10% of our combo every time, meaning we can repeatedly do heavy attacks at max combo and remain at 10x, 12x of these really high combo values. This is the build that gets the heavy attack with 760% critical chance and Weeping Wounds on top of that, which is very satisfying, really powerful, and you still get the ability to use combos with high values on Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds. Weapons with very high crit chance are therefore a great fit for this type of build, and having somewhat low status chance isn't a problem because of Weeping Wounds. Low status in exchange for high critical chance is normally not a great trade-off against armor, but even the Helicore here eventually inflicts status effects about 2/3 of the time once it reaches max combo, despite its incredibly low base value. Right, I wanted to show you this little trick that you can do when you have this much combo efficiency. So when you heavy attack, you reset the timer on the combo counter. That normally doesn't matter because when you heavy attack most of the time, you lose all of your combo. But with 90% combo efficiency, I only lose 10% of it. So if I'm going to run out of combo because I don't have any enemies around, I can just heavy attack, and I barely lose any combo, and it extends the duration of my combo counter by whatever it is. In this case, it's like 11 seconds, I believe, with Gladiator Rush. And keep in mind that the base combo duration has been extended by 2 seconds from 3 to 5. So you can keep your combo for a very long time, longer even than builds that aren't spending combo in the first place, because being able to spend combo like this actually lets you keep it for longer, and you end up with these situations where I just heavy attacked a bunch of times, and yet my combo is still growing quite rapidly. And I'm getting these spicy red crits, and it's really satisfying. And I can heavy attack without really losing much for these gigantic, juicy numbers. It's great. Anyway, all of these qualities are useful against status immune enemies, like Kuvaliches. You can fight with your combos and do status and crit, and having both is always better than just having one or the other, all things being equal, against normal enemies. You get to keep that all-important status chance, and yet, you still have tremendous spikes of damage that don't rely on status at all for when that Lich shows up. I don't like status immune enemies, but that's another video. Right now they exist, and this build annihilates them. Some weaknesses of this build include being tight on space. This build isn't very flexible, and this version can't fit healing in very easily. Another weapon that's a good fit for this type of build is the Karudo, and the Karudo innately heals you on crits, so that might be a good option if you want to use this type of build, but you also want some healing. This build is particularly inflexible with its elementals. You're pretty much locked into Corrosive unless you want to lose a lot of elemental damage, and while Corrosive is not exactly the worst element in the game to be stuck with, it's still not flexible. Your Kuvalich could have a resistance to Corrosive, for example. So it's not ideal, but still pretty powerful, and only this version of the build is kind of stuck with Corrosive, because it has a counterpart that is not. This combo efficiency style has a counterpart, one that is less interested in saving all of that combo, and more interested in rapidly earning and spending it as fast as possible with the help of Relentless Combination and combo count chance. That's yet another video, so I hope you enjoyed this one.